You know, life is very busy. We don't have a lot of time. So sometimes we just need to keep it very simple. Today on Let's Cook, we're going to keep it simple. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where our principle today is keep it simple. And when I say keep it simple, that means that I'm using some items that you might buy that are made ahead of time, or they're slow digesting. They're going to get, for instance, let me just tell you what I'm making for breakfast. We're doing a bean and egg salad for breakfast. Not only will this give you energy all day, give you complete proteins, but it's very healthy and very simple to make, and it actually holds up well in the refrigerator. So I think I'm going to start to make this salad. It's so simple to make. The first thing that we're using in a salad here is I have some sliced mushrooms. So I'm just going to put those right into the bowl here. I also have some cooked black beans that I'm putting in the bowl here. We have some diced tomatoes that we're putting in the bowl here. I also have some finely chopped parsley there. I'll just put all of that in. Now, the other thing that I'm using is red onion, lemon juice, olive oil, potatoes, hard-cooked eggs, and large croutons. And we just toss this all together. But let me show you how to cut the red onion. For the red onion, we need a small dice on the red onion. So what we'll do is we'll just take our knife like this, and we'll cut it across once, twice, 3 times this way. Then take your knife and bring it down this way, leaving the end of the onion still intact. Then we just go ahead and do a nice, simple, small dice this way. So we have our diced small red onion right there. We'll add that to the salad. Oh, this is such a, again, this is not only, this is going to give you a lot of energy all day long. So the other thing I have is I have some cooked potatoes here. Now, these are just boiled potatoes. We just peeled and cooked these potatoes, and then we shocked them, and then we peeled them. Now, whenever you make the potatoes, or you cook potatoes this way, it's a good idea to cook them with the jackets or the skins on. Let them cool, and then a little bit until you can just peel the skin off. You'll end up losing less of the potato when you do that. I normally do not take my potatoes and shock them in ice water, because what ends up happening is anything that grows below the ground, egg doesn't grow below the ground, but anything that grows below the ground, if you put it in ice water to stop the cooking process, the cellular structure of it is predisposed to absorbing liquid. So now we have some chopped hard-cooked eggs here that we're just going to peel. Okay, now a trick is if you cook the eggs and it starts to, the shell's not coming off nicely, this happens to be coming off nicely, but if it's not, it's a good idea. You just have a little bit of water here. I'll dip it in water as I'm doing it, and it just makes the shell come off that much easier. So let me just do a couple eggs here. And also I put it in the water and then making sure that I get rid of any of the shell that might be sticking to it that I don't see. So I'll just come over here and peel these. You need to have nimble hands to peel eggs too, and just take your time. Now, the reason I roll the egg, and I'll just show you one more of these because I've done a lot of shows, but I've never peeled eggs on a show before. Hard cooked eggs or soft cooked eggs on a show. It kind of reminds me, this was one of the first things I ever learned how to do in the kitchen with my father, so it was really nice. But the reason we take the egg, and I take the egg and I plop it here as I break the shell this way, and then I roll it this way. It just breaks all of the shell here on the side, so then I can just start, and it gives me a good starting point. Now, some chefs I know, what they'll do is they'll break the top of the egg. They'll take, and this section right here where it's smaller, the smaller end, they'll take that and just break that, and then they'll always start from this section too. I've seen, there's a lot of different principles to peeling eggs. But this is, again, a very healthy salad that's going to give you a lot of energy for the entire day. So let's just get this egg peeled here. Also, you see this egg here? See what's happening with this egg where it's falling apart and the shell is sticking to it, and the white has stuck to the inside right here? Tells me it was not that fresh an egg. really wasn't that fresh of an egg. So we'll just take these now. These get diced up and go right in a salad here. Again, this is eggs. Eggs are just a wonderful thing if you need complete proteins. So we'll just take our eggs, dice them in here. Then, last but not least, we have our lemon juice. We drizzle this with olive oil, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Then we toss this, just toss this around, just so everything is well tossed here. Doesn't this look great? Again, this is a very healthy salad. If you wanted to add some heat to this, put a little hot sauce in there. You could put any jalapeno chilies or everything because everybody seems to be wanting hot. Right before you serve it, add some real rustic croutons here. And they're just going to give you a nice differing texture, flavor, and taste. So that's our bean and egg salad that you can definitely have for breakfast. We need to take a little break right now, and then when we come back, we're talking about a very light lunch salad that can be made as a wrap or a salad itself. Remember, keep it simple today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome back to Keep It Simple today on Let's Cook. Now, the next item we're making that's going to keep it very simple is it's basically a lentil rice salad. Let me go over the ingredients for the salad here. I have some julienne here of carrots, some pepper, yellow pepper, a little bit of scallion. We have some diced red onion. We have some cooked rice. I have some cooked pink lentils, lemon juice, wasabi powder, and I'm using safflower oil, salt and pepper to season this with. So the wasabi is a horseradish. It has a little bit of a bite to it. So what I'll do first before I add this to the salad is I'm just going to take this, put my wasabi into the bowl. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this to dissolve it. But I don't want it pasty. You know, if you eat sushi, maybe you're used to the much stronger wasabi. We're making this very light. So I have that. To this now I have my lemon juice. I'm going to add my oil too. A little bit of pepper here. A little bit of salt. And then we'll just whisk this up, just incorporate that oil so it gets a little bit emulsified. Just need that a little bit emulsified. That's perfect. Great. Now, next, we're just going to take our lentils right here, some lentils. These are cooked pink lentils, but if you don't have the pink and you're using regular lentils, that's fine. Then we have our rice here, equal quantities to this. Our red onion. This is a nice luncheon salad that you can take to work with you, but you could also make this for a brunch too. It would go real good for a brunch. Then we have our julienne vegetables here. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I have a little bit of soy sauce too that I'm going to add to this too. We just take this now, toss our salad, and this is essentially done. We just need enough dressing to coat the rice. Now remember, the rice will have, I need a little bit more rice in here, will have a tendency of absorbing the dressing. So you really need to dress this right before you're about to serve it. So we mix this together like this, and I'm going to show you two ways to present this. The first way I'm going to show you is where you can actually set it up so that this is actually really, in the culinary world, it's probably outdated now, but at home, it's very nice, especially if you wanted to set up individual portions. Take a seedless cucumber like this, or a European cucumber. You have your peeler right here, and you just take and you pull it all the way along the cucumber here. So now I have a nice thin wrap here for my cucumber. See this right here? Okay. Now, once you have that, then I'll take a round cutter this way, and I just put this on the inside of the cutter here. Actually, I need one more slice. I need to go too high on this. So I'll just take this, pop this in here so that we're going too high. just want to make sure that we come up to the edge here of our cutter. Take your plate right here, set this up on your plate, and then just spoon your salad here right into this. This is if you'd like to make it a little nicer or just have a nicer look to the salad itself. Presentation is sometimes very important. And see, we just then take this and we just pick this right up off of it. And you have a nice cucumber ring holding your salad that way. Another way you can present this is take a nice flour tortilla or any flatbread that you might have, a little bit of the salad right here in the middle. Then we take this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change this up just a little bit from the initial presentation I showed you. And I'm just going to take a little piece of the cucumber here and put this right in the middle there so you get a little bit more flavor. Take this, we bring this here, pull it, whoops, turn it around now. Pull this really nice and tight. Need to make this really nice and tight. Then take this, wrap it nice and tight here. Keep your seam on the bottom there. Then with your knife, you're just going to take this and slice this down this way. In here you have a beautiful wrap salad as well. A nice lentil rice wrap salad. Again, we're just keeping it simple today on Let's Cook. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, I'm going to show you an all-in-one slow dinner on Keep It Simple today on Let's Cook. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where the next item we're making is a slow digesting dinner. Why? Because it has beans. It's served over rice. It's almost like a very thick soup. Delicious. And it's also very simple. Now, what I've done in this pan right here is I've rendered some bacon. So I took the bacon, I diced it up, and I rendered it in a pan. So, because we need the bacon fat here to give us flavor. Fat isn't food for flavor. Fat equals flavor. Very easy. Now, the next thing that we're going to use is we're going to use a mirepoix. Mirepoix is normally carrots, onions, and celery, but it can actually mean any vegetables for flavoring. I have an onion here, I have some carrot, I have some celery. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the onion. I'm actually going to show you how to peel an onion. Easy way. You take the onion. Now, this is a root end of the onion. See the root end here? The root end should be away from you. This is where it would sprout out of the ground. We take a knife, we put it in at about a 45-degree angle so the knife looks like that coming out of it. Hold our thumb this, and we turn the onion around the knife. What ends up happening is that comes out. Not a lot of water or juices coming out of the onion. Then with our paring knife, now we pick this way. A lot of people, let me explain how people cut themselves. A lot of times they hold the onion and they go like this, and all of a sudden a paring knife goes through and right into their hand this way. You really don't want that to happen. So then you just come over here, you start to pick out the outer edge here, and you just peel the onion away. Easiest way to peel an onion. In this way, you're not exposing all that. The end of the onion here will actually hold up better if you don't use all of the onion and you have to put it in your refrigerator. If you don't want to cry when you're peeling an onion, don't peel the onion. Basically, that's because certain onions contain sulfurous properties that end up affecting our tear ducts. Now, some people say put a match in, hold a match between your teeth. Other people say put the onion, put it in water, ice water. That'll prevent it from causing you to cry. My best advice is just don't peel the onion. Get somebody else to. And also some people, let's face it, the sulfurous compounds that are in an onion we're sensitive to, or some people are a little bit more sensitive to, so they're going to cry no matter what. But also sometimes the onion itself has a more sulfurous properties or compounds that will cause your tear ducts to go into high gear. That's okay. It's all right. You just realize you're working with food and you're having fun. So, tears of joy for the onion. Now, I have some celery here, I have my carrot, and I have my onion. Whenever I'm going to saute something like this and make it in a one-pot dish, and I've rendered my bacon right here, first thing to go in the pan is usually the onion. So we're just going to take the onion here, just do a very basic small dice on the onion this way. Now you'll notice the way I cut the onion this way, my onion really stays together. It's not going to fall apart when I go to dice it up. Just dice up my onion here. That's good. So we have our onion right here. Get our onion in the pan there with the rest of that bacon. And the reason I start with the onion in a pan is it takes a little longer to cook. I don't need to salt it. Why? Because I have bacon in there. Bacon has salt. Don't have to salt the onion. If I didn't have bacon in there, regular olive oil, then I might throw a little salt in there. Now, the next cut I'm going to make, to keeping it simple, is what we call an oblique, is what we would call an oblique cut, or a roll cut, where we cut the vegetable this way, then we give it a little bit of a turn. And when we're doing this, this is what we call a roll cut. This way we can take a root vegetable that's irregular in shape, or maybe smaller at one end, larger at the other end. And as we cut it down this way, we can end up with a vegetable that is cut uniformly all the way through, about the same size from beginning to end, that will cook evenly. So that's why we do a roll cut. So if I take this cut, my last cut right here, and I compare it to my first cut here, you can see they're very similar. They're going to cook the same. So we'll get our carrots in there now too. The celery, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down into thin slices this way, because my bacon is about to start burning and I need to get the celery in there right away. Along with the celery now, I have some diced chicken meat. We're going to put the diced chicken meat right in here too. Now this is when I would hit this with just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Here's where keeping it simple makes you one with the pot. We're just going to stir this together now, just until we get a little bit of color on the chicken. Just need that chicken to start to cook. We don't need it to brown at all. So just cook this. Make sure we get some color on the chicken. Once we have a little bit of color on the chicken, I have some cooked white beans here. Now, if I'm using canned white beans out of a can, because a lot of times, especially at home and keeping it simple, we don't have time to cook the beans. You have to be there at home. You have to watch them. So you can buy, find a brand that you like in the store. But before you use them, make sure you rinse them off and wash anything that's on there. We just take our beans now. We add this to it. Stir this around now. Again, keep it simple. A little bit of chicken stock here. How much chicken stock? Well, enough just to cover the vegetables and the beans and the chicken. Now, all we're going to do with this now is bring this up to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 10 minutes. That'll be enough to cook the chicken, cook the vegetables. The beans are already cooked, but they're going to absorb the flavors that are in the pan there. And we're going to have a delicious, very simple one-pot meal that we can serve over rice. The only thing I have to do is at the very end of this, a little bit of lemon juice in the mixture, just to bring out all the flavors. Let's take a little break, and then when we come back, we're going to see exactly what this looks like. This beautiful slow dinner, slow digesting, and easy, keeping it simple today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are definitely keeping it simple. Now, right here, our vegetables are done. Our chicken is done. To finish this dish, I add my tomatoes, some nice chopped parsley here, and the lemon juice. All we're going to do is just make sure that all of this is heated through now. You see how it kind of brought it to life? Oh, out of this world now. I have a couple of different presentations for you. First of all, I don't get to use this too often, but this is to dish out rice, and I really like it. Right on the inside here, it has this little indentation right there. I usually will spray this with oil. Then I have some cooked rice here that you just take and you press into the mold right here. And then hopefully it comes out. Come over here. Go like that. And so you have a beautiful rice mold right there that we're able to then take our chicken here and serve this all the way around it. Doesn't this look great? Again, delicious one pot, keeping it simple meal today. Or if you like, serve it almost like a soup, just like this, and finish it with a little bit of rice. Remember, life is short. Let's keep it simple. Thanks for watching. Let's cook. Bye-bye for now.